Hello everybody, so today it's going to be a very different video to what I normally make, but it's going to be just as fun for me regardless. So this story is going to involve something stupid that happened to me that involved me breaking my foot when I decided to take a trip to Edinburgh. So to begin this story, we're going to have to cast ourselves all the way back to Christmas time of 2019, just before the world went to shit thanks to COVID. So me and my family are visiting the Christmas market in Edinburgh, and I have some friends that I played with Destiny 2 at the time, but we never had the chance to meet up and actually have a proper catch up. So I decided to invite them down all the way to Edinburgh, because, it's a good chance. I decided I was visiting the mainland. Good as time as any. So everyone gets there, everyone's having a good time, and we decide to go have a few drinks. Everything's going well so far. The fuck up has not happened quite yet. So we decide, after a few drinks, it's a good idea to go to a trampoline park. The trampoline park in question was the Gravity Active one in Edinburgh. Now, there's going to be a little pop-up on screen just to show you what this trampoline park looks like. But what you'll notice is there's like a trampoline right next to some stairs. So I hope you guys know where this is going to be going. So what ends up happening is everything's fine and we're leaving. And what winds up happening is, because the trampolines are sort of in a grid square, you jump from trampoline to trampoline. So I decide, with all reckless abandon, I'm just going to jump trampoline to trampoline to trampoline. I get to the second last trampoline, and what ends up happening is I can't slow myself down. So second last trampoline, launch myself forward into the last trampoline. There's no way I can slow myself down. All of that momentum is still going. So I launch back into the air a second time. As I'm sailing through the air, one of my friends, who this is the first time we've met, he just looks at me. I can hear him as I'm flying through the air. He goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" And to this day, I don't know, just flying through the fucking air, I suppose. There's nothing I can really do about that. And I absolutely eat shit tumbling down these stairs. Now, I stand back up again, and everything seems fine. I remember standing up thinking, fucking hell, I could have broke something doing that. And I walk and I put my shoes back on and stuff, not thinking anything of it. My foot did feel a bit sore and I was limping a bit, but I did not really think anything of it at the time. So we decide, because we still had a few drinks in us, let's go fucking mini golfing. It ended up being a slightly miserable experience for me because the pain just was not going away. It just, if anything, it was getting worse. So me and my friends wind up breaking off from each other because I have to go meet my parents. And they need to go, they were going somewhere else. And so I go up to meet, one of the people we were meeting was my uncle, who I had not seen since I was 5. So the first thing he sees is me stumbling through the door of the pub, walk up to the table that my mum and my uncle are sat, and I go, "Hey guys, guess what the fuck I just did?" And the thing I just did was sent myself tumbling down a flight of stairs. Now, I decided to take my shoe off to assess the damage, because at this point I was kind of concerned about, I was like, chronic pain, usually, it shouldn't, I hit my foot going down the stairs, it shouldn't be sticking around this long. Oh bro, the foot was really, really swollen. It was like I was wearing an inflated pair of gloves over my foot. That's what it looked like. I didn't think anything of it. I was chilling, enjoying my time in the pub. I decided to go back to the hotel, and that's when I realized shit's getting really, really bad. So, about 20 minutes go by, and then I go and say to my mum when I'm trying to sleep, I think I need to go to the hospital. And she's like, "No, it doesn't. You don't. You're fine. Just go back to bed. You'll probably be fine in the morning." So I go, "Right, okay." So I lie there and try and go back to sleep again. 20 minutes go by. Shit's not getting better. So I end up getting out of bed again to go over to mom. I'm like, "Hey, yo, shit's fucked. I need to go to the hospital." She's like, and she's getting more progressively pissed off the more I say, "Look, I think I need an ambulance or a hospital or something." So I go back to bed 20 minutes later. I'm like, yeah, shit's getting worse and the alcohol's wearing off. So I got up to mum, I was like, "Right, look, either you take me to the hospital or I'll just take myself." She relents, and I end up getting taken to the hospital, where the sight I was greeted to was fantastic in Edinburgh, as it always is. So there was this homeless guy that was fighting the hospital staff the whole time. That's what I saw when I went in there. The hospital staff were trying to get rid of him. So I walk up to the front desk at the at the A&E centre, and this woman just doesn't seem to give a shit. She actually seems quite annoyed seeing me like hopping up towards the counter because I don't have any crutches or a wheelchair or anything. So I tell her what happens, and she's like, right, that's okay. She sends me back to my seat, and I wait. Still pretty sore. Nurse comes around, gives me painkillers. All is well, all is fantastic, and I go and get my x-ray. So while I'm back from the x-ray and waiting, the homeless guy has decided to make his return, and he started fighting with the with the staff again in the hospital. This time he starts spitting at them. Someone, probably a head honcho of the hospital, starts screaming at the guy, and I'm just trying to get some sleep. Eventually the painkillers start to work, and I start to be a little worried because I'm like, oh shit, what if nothing was wrong? It was just, just a swollen foot. But anyway, I managed to actually fall asleep in the hospital chairs, where I'm woken up to a doctor, like fucking 2 inches from my face, asking, will you come with me, please? And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. So he asked me my name, like, really loudly, and fucking scares the shit out of me. He turns to walk away, and I was thinking he would walk slowly to, let me catch up with him. Nah, dude just fucked off. I had no crutches, nothing. I was sat there hopping past after him on one fucking leg. It was not a pretty sight at all. And I end up getting put on this hospital bed, and they end up checking my foot and stuff again. And they tell me, oh, it's probably just a sprain. It probably won't be that bad, but we don't have anybody that's qualified to read the x-ray. And I'm like, right, okay. And so the homeless guy is still there, and he's devolved into just screaming random fucking gibberish. I don't know what he's on about. But anyway, so after like 7 hours of waiting, and 7 hours of the nurses saying, oh, it's probably just a sprain, it's just fine, another nurse comes down to give me the news after the x-ray got read, and he was like, nah, that's fucked. And I kind of turned to my mum, and I was like, yes, it's fucking broken. I told you I wasn't a waste of time, without realizing that I was pretty much going to make myself immobile for a bit, which sucked. So they strapped this massive moon boot to my foot, and they sent me on my merry way. Now, I go back to the hotel that I was staying at the next morning. My friends decided to all come into the hotel room and laugh and gawk at me, calling me a fucking moron. And you know what? They aren't wrong. They weren't wrong at all. So I go back home, get on the ferry back. Nothing eventful happens, and I need to go for a checkup. And I get to see my own x-rays for myself. And I don't know how they needed someone qualified to read the x-ray, but if you looked at my foot, there was a massive line, or a massive split, where you could see the bone was just completely fucked. There was no shadow of a doubt that thing was fucked. So yeah, my own negligence, I sent myself flying down a flight of stairs and wound up in the hospital. You know what? The funny thing is, was it this Christmas? No, it was not. It was either last Christmas or the Christmas before. No, it wasn't. It was the summer, actually. It was that summer, and we decided to go there again. And yeah, everything was fine. I didn't manage to break another limb that time. I went out of my way to make sure it didn't happen. When I went down the stairs as well, after I made an impact, there's sort of a person, sort of security guard that's meant to make sure everyone's safe. She sees me fly down the stairs, and she looks like she hates life, and she couldn't give a shit that I just went down the stairs. And she turns to my friend and goes, is he alright? And he's like, yeah, he's fine. He's just a fucking moron. And I think that's a great way to summarize the story. Out of commission for 6 weeks, and it was all good. And then the COVID pandemic hit just to make everything shit. But yeah, that's about everything. I'll catch you guys later.